Have you ever laid in bed staring at the ceiling, watching the clock hit 1:14 a.m., then 2:03, then 3:22, and still no sleep? Or maybe you do fall asleep like clockwork. Your eyes snap open just past 1 in the morning, and there you are, wide awake. The house is silent, the night feels endless, and all you can think is, why does this keep happening to me? If that sounds familiar, I want you to know you are not alone. In fact, insomnia is one of the most common challenges women face as they get older. Especially after 70, the body begins to shift. Hormones change, the brain rewires how it handles sleep, and what once felt like a peaceful night under the covers starts to feel like a battle you never signed up for. But here's the good news. You are not broken, you are not stuck, and there are ways to fix this without relying on harsh medications or just toughing it out. In this video, we're going to gently walk through 10 life-changing tips, all backed by science and real-life experience, that can help you sleep deeper, longer, and more peacefully, even if you haven't had a full night's rest in years. These tips are especially designed for women over 70 because your sleep is not the same as it was when you were 30 or even 50, and it shouldn't be treated the same way. Let's start by talking about one of the most common and sneaky causes of sleep trouble after 70, your internal clock. As we age, our natural circadian rhythm, that internal body clock that tells us when to feel tired and when to wake up, starts to drift. For some women, it starts pushing sleep earlier in the evening and triggering wakefulness in the early hours, sometimes as early as 1 or 2 a.m. You might be thinking, but I used to sleep through the night just fine. And that's true, but your brain's melatonin production, that's the hormone that helps regulate sleep, has likely slowed down, and the signals that once lulled you into deep sleep just aren't as strong anymore. This doesn't mean you have to just accept it. It means you need to gently reset that internal clock. One of the best ways to do that? Get natural sunlight in the morning. Even 10 to 20 minutes of exposure to morning light, whether you go out for a walk or just sit near a bright window, can help retrain your body to know when it's time to be awake and when it's time to rest. It may seem too simple to work, but countless studies have shown that early daylight exposure boosts melatonin production later at night, giving your brain the signal it's been missing. Now, once you've started getting your light exposure right, the next area to look at is something we often overlook, your evening wind-down routine. And let me ask you something. Do you have one? Because here's what I've learned talking to hundreds of women over 70. Many of us fall into a routine of staying up late, watching TV, scrolling on our phones, or worrying about family, health, or finances until the moment we try to sleep. And we expect our bodies to go from on to off like a light switch. But the brain doesn't work that way, especially not anymore. Your body needs to feel safe, calm, and predictable in order to fall into deep, healing sleep. So if you've been going straight from stimulation to sleep, your brain may be staying in high alarm mode even if you're exhausted. That's where a personalized wind-down routine becomes so powerful. For some women, that looks like turning off all screens an hour before bed and switching to soft lighting. For others, it means taking a warm bath, listening to gentle music, or doing some light stretching. One woman I spoke to recently said she puts lavender oil in her diffuser at exactly 8:30 every night, and just that scent tells her brain it's time to let go. Your ritual doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be yours, something that feels soothing, something that your brain will start to recognize as a signal to shift from go to slow. Now, we also need to talk about something a little uncomfortable but very common, and that's nighttime worry. You know that feeling? When your body is tired but your mind just won't let go? Thoughts race, regrets surface. You wonder about the future, about your kids, about your health, and before you know it, you're tangled up in anxiety and wide awake again at 2:17 a.m. This happens because nighttime is often the only quiet moment we have, and the brain, without distractions, starts processing everything we've been pushing aside all day. So how do we fix that? Here's a practice that has helped countless women I've worked with: night journaling. Right before bed, take 5 to 10 minutes to write down whatever's on your mind. It could be a list of worries, a letter you'll never send, or just a brain dump of things you're afraid to forget. The act of putting it on paper helps your mind release it. One woman told me, "It's like I give my worries a bedtime too, so they don't come waking me up at 1 a.m." It might feel odd at first, but the effect is powerful. You're creating emotional closure before you sleep, and that gives your mind permission to rest. So far, we've talked about your body clock, your nighttime routine, and the role of stress and worry in poor sleep. These are just the beginning, but they are foundational. Because when you start sending your brain consistent, loving messages that it's safe to rest, that it's okay to slow down, that everything will be okay until morning, your sleep doesn't just improve. Your entire life starts to feel lighter. And remember, this isn't just about feeling rested. It's about healing. Sleep is when your body repairs itself, when your brain clears out toxins, when your mood resets and your energy recharges. Fixing your sleep can truly change everything else. Now that we've begun resetting the body's natural rhythm and given the brain a chance to unwind at night, let's move a little deeper, because sleep isn't just about shutting off. It's also about what's going on inside your body that might be keeping you up, even when everything else seems in place. And one of the biggest culprits hiding in plain sight? What you eat and drink, especially in the evening. Many women don't realize just how much your dinner and bedtime snacks affect your sleep. For example, foods that seem comforting, like crackers, toast, or sugary cereal, may actually spike your blood sugar, and guess what happens next? That sugar crashes a few hours later, often right around 1 or 2 a.m., waking you up with a pounding heart or racing thoughts even if you don't realize what triggered it. If you've ever woken up suddenly feeling anxious or alert in the middle of the night but can't explain why, it might be your body responding to blood sugar fluctuations. So what helps instead? A small, protein-rich snack before bed. Something like a tablespoon of almond butter, a few slices of turkey, or a slice of cheese with half a banana. These kinds of foods help stabilize blood sugar through the night, keeping your body calm and steady until morning. And let's not forget about caffeine. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, I only have 1 cup of coffee and it's in the morning. But as we age, our bodies metabolize caffeine more slowly. What used to pass through your system in 6 hours might now take 10 or more. So even that morning coffee or that piece of chocolate after lunch can still linger by bedtime and interfere with your brain's ability to fully settle. Still, if you've been struggling with waking up after midnight, try going without caffeine for just 1 full week. You might be shocked by how much deeper and longer your sleep becomes, without changing anything else. Now, let's talk about another piece of the puzzle that doesn't always get the attention it deserves: your bedroom environment. Think of your bedroom like a cave, quiet, dark, and cool. That's what your body wants. That's what your brain needs. But so many women I speak with are sleeping in bedrooms that are too warm, too noisy, or filled with distractions. Here's the truth. After 70, your body becomes more sensitive to temperature. Even a few degrees too warm can prevent you from falling into the deep sleep stages that restore your mind and body. If you've been waking up feeling hot, restless, or like your sheets are sticking to you, try dropping the room temperature by just 2 or 3 degrees. Consider switching to lightweight, breathable cotton sheets. Some women even sleep better with a fan running, not just for the air, but for the gentle hum of white noise that soothes the mind. And while we're here, take a moment to look around your bedroom. Is there clutter on the nightstand? A TV screen still glowing? A blinking clock light in the corner? All of these can subtly signal to your brain that it's still on. Removing just a few distractions can make a world of difference. One woman in her late 70s told me she unplugged her TV and started reading a paper book in low light for 20 minutes before bed. She hadn't slept through the night in 6 years, but within a week she was sleeping until sunrise. Sometimes it's not about adding more, it's about clearing the space for rest to happen. Now let's address something a little more emotional, and it's something that so many women carry quietly. It's the feeling of loneliness at night. The quiet can feel heavy. The stillness can stir up memories, sometimes beautiful, sometimes painful. And when you're alone with your thoughts, especially in the middle of the night, it can be overwhelming. Sleep isn't just physical, it's emotional too. That's why some women find healing in adding a sense of comfort and connection to their nighttime routine. Whether that's listening to a guided meditation, praying, or even just speaking kind words out loud to yourself before bed. What you say to your heart matters. One woman shared that she whispers a blessing over herself each night before turning off the light. "I did enough today. I am safe. I will rest." That simple act softened the fear that used to visit her in the dark hours, and slowly, her body learned to trust bedtime again. So if you've been lying awake feeling unsettled or unsure, know this: your body is not the enemy. Your mind is not broken. Your soul just needs gentleness. You've lived through so much. You carry wisdom, strength, and stories, and you deserve sleep that nourishes you, not sleep that you fight for. We've already uncovered so many layers, from your internal clock to blood sugar, caffeine, bedroom setup, and emotional comfort. But there's still more we can explore together. Because your sleep, just like your life, is made up of many pieces, all working together in quiet harmony. And as we continue, you'll discover even more ways to turn your nights into healing, peaceful rest, not just tonight, but for many nights to come. By now, you've taken in a lot of valuable insights, and I hope you're already beginning to feel something shift, not just in your understanding of sleep, but in how you view yourself. Because struggling with insomnia, especially after 70, isn't a personal flaw, it's a response, a message. And when we start listening with compassion instead of frustration, we create the space for change. Now, let's take a look at one more area that often goes unnoticed, but could be keeping you wide awake past 1 a.m., and that's lack of movement during the day. You see, many women I speak with say, "But I'm tired all the time. Why would I exercise if I can barely stay awake?" But the irony is, physical fatigue and mental exhaustion aren't the same thing. You can feel emotionally worn down while your body is still restless and understimulated. And when your body hasn't had a chance to use its energy throughout the day, it tends to rev up at night, just when you want it to wind down. You don't need to start running laps or hitting the gym, but gentle, consistent movement, even just 20-30 minutes a day, helps your body build up enough natural sleep pressure to support deep, uninterrupted rest. A slow walk around the block, light gardening, chair yoga, stretching your arms and legs to music you love. Movement tells your body, "We've done enough today, now it's time to rest." And here's another beautiful bonus. Movement boosts your mood, it lifts your confidence, it reduces symptoms of depression, which are often linked to sleep issues in older women. So, you're not just sleeping better, you're feeling better. Now, let's take a step inward again, because one of the most powerful and underrated sleep tools is your breath. It sounds too simple, right? Just breathing? But research is clear. Slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for calming you down. It slows your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and releases tension stored in your muscles. And the best part? You can do it anywhere, in bed, on the couch, even during the day when you feel anxiety creeping in. Here's a simple pattern to try. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. Repeat that 4 or 5 times. It's called the relaxing breath, and it's been used by sleep therapists, yoga instructors, and doctors for decades. I had one woman tell me she started doing this every time she woke up in the middle of the night, and within 2 weeks, she went from waking up 5 or 6 times a night to sleeping nearly straight through until morning. All from the breath. So if your mind is racing at 1 a.m., don't panic. Don't fight it. Don't get angry with yourself. Just breathe slowly, kindly. Let your body lead you back toward peace. And speaking of peace, there's one final truth I want to share, and it may be the most important of all. You are allowed to rest. I know that sounds simple, but so many women I talk to, strong, generous, deeply caring women, carry a quiet sense of guilt around sleep. Maybe you were the one who always looked after everyone else, the one who never asked for help, the one who kept going no matter what. And now, when your body needs rest, It feels unfamiliar, like you haven't quite earned it. But you have earned it 1,000 times over. You deserve rest, not because you checked every box or finished every chore, but because you are human. You are alive. You are in a body that is still doing its best day after day. And sleep isn't selfish. It's healing. It's necessary. It's sacred. So tonight, when you slip under the covers, I want you to let go of that pressure. You've done enough. You are enough. And there's nothing more you need to do tonight than simply allow yourself to rest. Even if sleep doesn't come right away, even if your eyes open again at 1:12 a.m., you can still meet that moment with softness instead of struggle. You can say to yourself, "This is hard, and I'm okay." You can try one of the techniques we've talked about, the journaling, the breathing, the gentle affirmations, and know that every time you do, you're training your body and mind to trust sleep again. You're not failing, you're retraining, and that's something to be proud of. Because healing sleep, true, restorative, soul-deep sleep is possible. Even after 70 and after 80 years of struggle, even when it feels far away. And you are on the path, right now, with every breath, with every new habit, with every moment you choose to treat yourself with compassion instead of criticism. This is what change looks like. It's not flashy, it's not instant, but it's real, and it lasts. You've made it this far, and I'm so proud of you, truly. Now that we've explored these powerful tips, from adjusting your light exposure and evening routine to nourishing your body and calming your nervous system, the question many women ask next is, where do I even begin? It can feel overwhelming at first. You might be thinking, should I change my whole bedtime routine tonight? Should I go out and buy blackout curtains and new sheets? Should I stop drinking coffee cold turkey? Take a breath. You don't have to do everything all at once. In fact, the most powerful change often starts with just one gentle shift, something small, something manageable, something you know you can stick to. If you're wondering where to begin, here's a simple place to start. Choose one new evening ritual that signals your brain it's time to rest. Maybe that's turning off your screens an hour earlier. Maybe it's brewing a cup of calming herbal tea. Maybe it's reading 2 pages from a book while lying in bed with dim light. Whatever it is, keep it simple and repeat it nightly. Repetition teaches your body, this is our signal, we're safe, it's okay to rest now. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. Now, let's address some common questions that tend to come up when women start trying to fix their sleep after 70. What if I can't fall back asleep after waking up at 1 a.m.? This is one of the most frustrating things about insomnia. Waking in the early hours and lying there wide-eyed with your thoughts spinning. If this happens, try not to panic. Don't look at the clock. Don't immediately turn to your phone or turn on a bright light. Instead, stay in bed and try one of the tools we discussed. Slow, steady breathing, a calming visualization, or silently repeating a phrase like, I am safe, it's okay to rest. If after 15-20 minutes you still can't settle, it's okay to get up, but keep things very low stimulation. Try sitting in a comfy chair with a soft blanket, sipping warm water, or journaling a few thoughts. Avoid turning on overhead lights or checking emails. The goal is to stay relaxed enough to return to sleep when your body is ready. Do I need to take sleep medication to fix this? It's a question many women hesitate to ask, but it's important. And the answer is not necessarily. Some people find temporary relief from prescription or over-the-counter sleep aids, but they're often not a long-term solution. Over time, they can lose effectiveness, lead to dependency, or cause grogginess and confusion. Especially dangerous if you get up during the night and risk a fall. The techniques we've been talking about, light exposure, meal timing, gentle exercise, breath work, emotional release, are part of what's known as sleep hygiene, and sleep hygiene has been shown to be just as effective, if not more, than medication over the long term, especially in women over 70. That said, always speak with your doctor before changing any medications or starting new supplements. If you're considering something like melatonin, it's best to do so under guidance and at very low doses. What if I've tried everything and nothing seems to work? This is a question I hear more than any other, and I want you to hear this clearly. You are not a failure. Sleep is complex. It's affected by dozens of factors: hormones, pain, medications, grief, diet, environment, even past trauma. Sometimes it takes time to untangle all the layers. If you've been trying multiple tips without success, consider keeping a sleep journal for a week. Write down your bedtime, what you ate, how you felt emotionally, what time you woke up, and how refreshed you felt in the morning. Patterns often emerge, and you may notice connections you didn't realize before. Sometimes all it takes is adjusting the timing of your dinner, or reducing fluids after 7 p.m. to prevent nighttime trips to the bathroom, or shifting your evening routine by 30 minutes. Keep experimenting, gently, keep listening to your body. You are not broken. You are learning. You are responding. Now, let's touch on something that surprises many people: how your sense of purpose affects your sleep. Yes, truly. Studies have shown that older adults with a strong sense of meaning, even in small daily ways, tend to sleep better, wake less during the night, and report more peaceful mornings. That purpose doesn't have to be big. It could be as simple as watering your plants, checking in on a neighbor, writing a memory to pass on to your grandchildren, or tending to a morning ritual that brings you peace. Purpose gives the brain a signal that tomorrow matters. And when tomorrow matters, the mind can let go tonight. So if you've been struggling to sleep, ask yourself, what am I still looking forward to? What gives my day meaning? Even one small answer can soften the mind and comfort the heart before bed. Before we wrap this part, let's take a moment to pause and reflect. Because fixing your sleep isn't just about science, it's about self-trust, about believing that your body still wants to work with you, not against you, that deep rest isn't just for the young or lucky, it's for you too, and it can be yours again. If you've already tried one or two of these tips, I'd love to hear what's working or what you're still struggling with. Drop a comment below and share your experience. You never know who might be reading and feel less alone because of your words. And if there's a question you've had about sleep but never felt safe to ask it. This is a community where we normalize these conversations because aging doesn't mean silence, it means wisdom, and wisdom deserves a voice. You're doing better than you think, and your sleep, like everything else in life, is something you can gently reclaim one peaceful night at a time. If you're still here with me, I want you to pause for just a second and take a deep breath. Let it go slowly. You've just done something powerful. You've invested time into learning how to care for yourself. Not with pressure, not with guilt, but with love. And that's something to be proud of. We've talked about so much in this video: how your body's internal clock changes with age, how your nightly habits influence your rest, how certain foods and even your thoughts can either calm your system or keep it wired well into the early morning hours. And most importantly, we've talked about how you are not alone. Millions of women over 70 are quietly struggling to sleep through the night. Many feel exhausted, frustrated, or even hopeless. But most are suffering in silence, thinking it's just part of getting older, but it's not. Sleeplessness isn't something you just have to live with, and change is absolutely possible, no matter your age. And if this video gave you even one idea that made you think, I can do that, then I encourage you, truly, start tonight. Don't wait, don't put it off. Choose one thing. Maybe it's dimming the lights after dinner. Maybe it's walking to the mailbox instead of driving. Maybe it's writing down 3 things that brought you peace today, or simply breathing deeply before bed. Let your first step be small, but let it be real. And if this message helped you, please do something that will help someone else too. Click the like button so this video reaches more women who need to hear this. It's a small gesture that makes a huge difference. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, because there's more coming and you don't want to miss what's ahead. Every week I create content just for women like you. Women who are aging boldly, caring deeply, and doing their best every single day. We'll talk about health, mindset, memory, movement, purpose, and everything in between, all with clarity, compassion, and honesty. And I'd love for you to be a part of that journey. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one sleep tip that you're going to try this week? Or if you've already made a change that helped you sleep better, share it in the comments below. Your experience might be the exact thing another woman needs to hear tonight. And if you're feeling bold, let us know. What's the biggest challenge you face with sleep right now? The more we speak up, the more we create a community that supports each other. Before I go, I'll let you in on what's coming next, and it's one I know you'll love. In the next video, we'll explore simple, science-backed strategies to sharpen your memory after 70. If you've ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there, or felt your words just slip away mid-sentence, you're not alone. And there are ways to bring your mind back to clarity without frustration. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on that little bell so you'll be the first to know when that video goes live. As we wrap up, let me leave you with this. You deserve rest. You deserve peace. You deserve to wake up feeling refreshed, steady, and ready for a new day. Not because everything in life is perfect, but because you are still here. You are still growing, and your body, even now, still wants to heal. Tonight, when you lay down, don't just try to get through the night. Instead, gently whisper to yourself, "This is my time to restore. I trust my body. I trust my breath. I am safe. I can rest. You're doing beautifully, and I'm right here with you." Here's to peaceful nights, gentle mornings, and living your best life at any age. I'll see you soon.